That's a quote. Is that a quote?
Okay, East Hampton School Board, we are live and streaming.
Thank you very much. Welcome. Can I have a motion to open the meeting?
Make a motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Please rise to the flag.
Allegiance to the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. I'll turn it over to Superintendent.
We have a very nice presentation. I'm going to Nancy McMullen from Greater East Hampton Education Foundation, even though I think you changed your name.
We did. I was just going to say that.
Perfect. Not you, Nancy. Great.
So my name is Nancy McMullen, and I'm the president of the East Hampton Education Foundation. We changed our name, dropped the word greater. We hope that will help people remember us a little better. So thank you, Adam, for remembering. That's great. Before I go ahead with the mini grants, that's why I'm here tonight. I wanted to just take a moment to share some exciting news. The EHEF just celebrated 2 big milestones. We recently turned 15 years old, and we have donated over $1 million to students and staff at East Hampton Town Public Schools. Tonight, for the mini grants, this past December, we distributed a total of $3,078 to two teachers in 2 East Hampton Town schools, 1 in Spring School and 2 in East Hampton Middle School. And part of our mission is to award grants to teachers and staff that help enhance students' education and provide teachers with the tools they need. Specifically, the grants this year that were awarded help support literacy and social and emotional wellness. We are pleased to present these awards to David Cataletto, who purchased graphic novels for the classroom library for $500, and Denise Rowland, who purchased supplies for a knitting club for students for $2,000. And then I'd also just like to announce that we've opened up a second round of mini grant applications with the deadline of February 4th of 2022. So all your teachers in your schools, hopefully you'll get that from your principals, and it's also online. And finally, we just want to thank the East Hampton Union Free School District board members, staff, and the entire school community for their support. Without their support, we wouldn't be able to fund these important projects. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. News at a school. Ms. Cunit.
Hi, good evening. I thought I'd share a couple of fun pieces of information, things that are happening at John Marshall. For those of you who follow us on Instagram, you might have seen a picture of our students wearing Islander jerseys and with Islander hockey sticks. Last year, our PE department reached out with the Islanders, and part of their community outreach program is a floor hockey curriculum package that they sent to us, and it really did coincide with our PE department's hockey unit. So the students were super excited to be wearing official jerseys and using official sticks as they were learning about safety and obviously all of the rules of the game. So that's been a fun activity for students, specifically 1st through 5th grade. We're really tall enough to be able to use the equipment that they have given to us, which was fantastic. On February 11th, we are going to celebrate PS I Love You Day in conjunction with Sources of Strength. And PS I Love You Day was a day that was created. 2 siblings who lost their dad to suicide created a mental health awareness organization. And how that translates in our building is really at the elementary level, is really creating an environment where we're telling our students that everybody is welcome, loved, and supported. So certainly it is a mental health awareness organization, but at our level, we are talking about inclusiveness, being welcomed and supported, and we're all wearing purple on February 11th in support of PS I Love You Day. And then lastly, I thought I'd mention that we brought our students back into the cafeteria following the break. We brought lunch back into the classrooms, even though we have following all of the guidelines in our cafeteria. There's plenty of space, but I think just to ease some anxieties that were out there, we brought students for 2 weeks back into their classrooms. They are thrilled to be back in the cafeteria. And so is the staff. Really, it's it's good for them as long as we can do it safely, which we can, for them to be in the cafeteria and have that experience. So that's what I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Soriano?
Happy New Year all. We have a few things. We're going to do a little fun and have a little fun as well. This time of year, January and February, as you know, out here can be a little like the doldrums, and we've had some incremental improvement in student behavior, which is nice to see. And they have really been, as the teachers have said during our common planning times, they've been really working hard. So also nice to see. So we're going to do some pop-up quizzes throughout the week, a bit like Jeopardy, some related specifically to the school, some on current events, some on geography, and we'll do that by homeroom so it doesn't interrupt instructional time. Our PTA has donated 10 $25 gift cards to Book Hampton and 2 iPads. So that will be the
Wow.
gifts that we'll give out over the course of these 2 months. And that should be a lot of fun. This Friday's which is currently under construction, is Name That Teacher. So there will be something, a fun fact about a different person in the
That's
building,
great.
and then the students have to write down who it is. Also, our clubs continue to be going strong. Thank you for your support of that. They are heavily subscribed this year, particularly the cooking club, which is why next month, I think I'm on for a presentation for the middle school. I've invited Denise Rowland, who is our new family and consumer science teacher, to come and present to you and talk about cooking club. This actually, the morning announcement today was we're doing the changeover because we had so much student interest. Kids are signing up again for January through June. So it will be a whole new group of kids. And obviously, if we don't fill all the slots, students that were participating in the first semester can join us again for the second. But she'll be presenting next month. And I think you'll find her. She's just great, enthusiastic, passionate about what she does, and the kids really love her. And then finally, I've talked with the staff and also PTA. We're going to make some adjustments to our schedule because of COVID, although I'm happy to hear and see that the numbers are seeming to plateau and go down, although we did have 10 staff members out today. We're not going to cancel, but we're going to postpone one of our centerpiece activities, which is our Mad Heart Ball, to the spring. It just doesn't make sense because there's a whole lead up of about 4 weeks where the kids are learning dancing and dance routines. And all of us thought that that didn't make sense right now. So we will hold it, but it will be sometime in the spring. And also we're going to modify it for COVID. So instead of close ballroom dancing, it will be line dancing this year and all that goes along with that.
That might be a fun change.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be different. I thought we could even do it outside and get hay bales and ask for permission to use Herrick Park. Because we won't be able to, if we do it inside, invite parents. It will just have to be the kids, because that event gets up to about 500 people. We can't do that. Same for the musical. We're looking forward to doing it, and we will do a performance in the evening, but we'll limit the number of attendees probably to 2 per child. And then rather than do the student performance on Friday morning where we bring the whole school together, we'll just broadcast it in each of the rooms, some version of it, whether we videotape particular scenes or do the whole show. We'll have to see what our technology can sustain, because that can be a little tricky. So that's the news of the middle school.
Thank you. Thank you. Ms. Smith?
So as you all know, we unfortunately had to go virtual for a few days, but we are in much better shape now. Our COVID numbers for both our staff and our students seem to be plateauing and going down a little bit, which we are very grateful for and has allowed us to be back in person. We opened up our live stream for our quarantine students. which the system that we're using is we are flagging our students in school who are quarantined. And that, knock on wood, so far has been going quite well, and providing that live stream for those students who need it. In addition to that, we've continued our tutoring services for them. We're trying to provide as much support as possible for our students who are out for, in some cases, up to 10 school days. I just want to give a huge compliment and heartfelt thank you to our teachers and staff who transitioned to yet another change that we put on them seamlessly and gracefully. So thank you so much. And also a similar compliment to our students, many of whom who have the opportunity to be on live stream are taking advantage of it and hopping on so they don't fall behind. So knock on wood, it's going quite well so far. Our other big news is we are in the thick of course selection and the program of studies. So our counseling department is beginning to meet with each student and their parent or guardian. It is a bit of a long process because we continue to be committed to that individualized process of meeting with your counselor to determine your academic path for next year. As part of this, believe it or not, we are welcoming the class of 2026. So we'll have our incoming 8th graders who we will meet with on the night of the 27th to talk about the courses that are available to them, as well as extracurricular activities that we have here for them. That will be via Zoom. I have waved the white flag, committed to staying in person academically. So large events will be via Zoom, until further notice. So the Zoom link is forthcoming on that. The other thing that I just wanted to share with you was the beautiful mural that you saw when you came in. Thank you for Mr. Goodstein for putting that up. That was the work of Ms. Evans and Ms. Suvarian's art students who participated in the East End Mlk Portrait Project. The mural is made up of 16 individual panels created by our students. And the mosaic style was chosen, and I quote, to honor the impact of civil rights leaders by working together in unity, each creating an individual part that ultimately becomes a whole. So this piece is currently hanging in our front lobby and will be submitted to the East End Arts Project shortly.
Sarah, do you happen to know if that quote is a quote by Martin Luther King?
Yes, I believe all of the quotes, the others are harder to see, the one on the bottom right and the bottom left,
Yeah.
they're all Martin Luther King quotes.
That's spectacular. It's just gorgeous.
Yeah, it's inspiring and beautiful, and thank you to our students for creating it.
Sarah, I have a question about absenteeism,
Yes, sir.
student absenteeism. That percent of students is coming down.
For COVID-related issues is coming down.
Okay,
And
so
we are,
what percent of our student absences are COVID related? Kids that have to stay out? Is it half?
so I would say that what we were seeing a few weeks ago was a higher rate of absenteeism across the board because there was, in some cases, legitimate concerns about COVID and coming in. We have seen that subside,
Okay,
and our absentee rates go down across the board, COVID included. In terms of exactly what percentage is COVID, I'd say right now we're at about, I didn't check the spreadsheet today, but we're at about 30 students who are currently quarantined.
okay.
And so we're seeing that go down across the
Good.
board.
Mhm.
Yeah, which is a good.
And by the way, we're still sticking to the 10-day rule, right?
We will, and I know we haven't identified late, but it's fine. We can talk about it now. We are, after consulting with our nurses, our chief medical officer, we are sticking to the 10-day quarantine through the end of the month. Then I think at that point, we'll be able to reassess and hopefully reduce that to the 5 days. Hopefully, if everything continues and plateau kind of just becomes a
Decline.
deep gully would be great. But, we just felt we were in the middle of it. Our numbers were so skewed, even compared to larger high schools. I don't know why it happened here. I mean, one of my best guesses is, we have a very honest community that tests their kids, and a lot of people with self-testing, and we got a lot of positive. I will tell you, and I had a discussion with East Hampton Star today, because we'll hand out some more home tests. We'll get a third shipment again this week. We did not see an intense spike after we handed out the home test, which was kind of nice. We did.
Surprising.
Tim and I thought, oh my God, here it comes. And then with Wendy, we were like, we're going to hand these out. Our numbers had already risen, exponentially. And we were like, oh, we just gave them some more tests. So we really felt that, oh no, we're going to have a huge spike. But we didn't. Now, that's not to say in a week or a month we won't, but.
If some student or some staff member wants a test kit, can we give it to
They
them?
could pick them up tomorrow. Yes. The bottom line for the community, we have plenty. Tim's organized a pickup tomorrow from 8 to 3. Please come in the bus loop, except for 2 to 3. There's a message going out. Please avoid the bus loop at 2 to 3 because there will be buses there. Please just park in the parking lot. We are expecting another delivery of probably close to another 1,000 tests later this week. So it seems at this point, community-wise and school-wise, anybody who needs extra tests and whatnot, they are going to be housed in the nurse's office of all the schools. I don't know if Tim, we haven't even talked about subsequent
Plus, I saw plenty.
distribution.
I saw plenty in CVS.
Yeah, you can get them on
Yeah, they're
Amazon,
sending
you can
them
get
to
them
the house
anywhere.
via United States Postal
Yeah,
Service.
that's the end
This
of
is
the month.
nonstop too. They got we got word today.
We handed
you know.
out roughly 700 tests those first 2 days.
Yeah.
To 700 students, I'm sorry. And we're planning for second round tests. And that was, I think the emphasis is people who want another round of tests to come. We have the same amount again.
Yes.
And then BOCES is providing us yet again more. So the nurses, if a kid is going home sick, I'm comfortable saying that they're giving tests for them to go home
Right.
and to test
And
at
to
that
test
point.
at
So
home.
there isn't a line at
That's
the,
good.
Right.
Yep.
It's going, I think, as well as
Good,
can
it's
be.
important.
I'm sure there could be a little more here or there. And parents have reached out if they can't come during those hours. We've made accommodations for it. And, so if anyone's
What about
listening and you need a
siblings and
test,
stuff?
for your students, please, reach out. It's working out as well as can be, I think.
If families are
If the
asking,
student is sent home and then you're sending home with a kit, are you also giving flexibility to give them to siblings that are also in the school?
The packets come in tests of 2.
Right,
So, if there's a family, of 3, they're getting 4 or 5 tests, it's,
okay.
we're not really turning, I don't think we're turning people away,
Right.
no.
Please come if we need a test,
Right.
we're the reserve for students and we're doing what we can do, hand them
But it
out.
is for students too, just.
Yeah, for students, and,
Because if don't have kids, you can't come and get one. I
It's
mean, at
not
this
just
point-
from,
right, these
anyone
are for our
that-
enrolled students. And again, like you said, if you're getting, each of those tests have 2, packets have 2 in it. You might get, Tim might give two of those, that's 4 tests.
Right.
You can use them, for
And
siblings.
BOCES is
but-
providing us
No,
more,
just
so
if
that
one person
we're
in your family
comfortable
is
that.
positive, you want to
Yeah.
also test the other school age children and make sure they're not
Yeah.
bringing in.
Yeah, we-
They're
and-
telling people not to test if you don't have symptoms. aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
they're saying don't use them if
Right.
you don't
Save
have
it until you really
symptoms,
need
save
them.
them until you really need
Save it
them.
until you need
yeah,
it.
and we're pretty well stocked. I mean, our nurses have tests, we have tests, the nurses have tests to send home, as you just heard with kids. We have tests to test the sports teams, we have tests, we are, we have plenty of tests, which is, it's a situation where, we weren't there before. Now
Very lucky.
we are, so, which is great. That was.
Thanks.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you. Thank you, Sarah.
Just before this hot off the press, it's just before I turn it over or back to JP. Fraser and Feldman, who's the district's attorneys, we're proud to announce they once again have been recognized in 2021. This is obviously a few months ago, of New York Magazine Special Section, New York's 2021 top rated lawyers. This recognition is based on the firm being AV rated by Martindale and Hubble, the highest peer rating for legal and ethical standards, and celebrating the achievements of New York's tri-state area legal leaders, which I think we all
Well done,
appreciate
yeah.
the guidance that our attorneys provide us.
They're fantastic.
I know I
They
do.
have served us well.
Yes, they have.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you, and congratulations to them. Okay. Matt, do you have anybody on the phone for a public comment?
Yes, we have a caller that just came in.
Okay, we'll just take it. I mean, I'm not gonna ask them if it's for agenda items, just we'll let them go. So whenever you're ready to let them in, go ahead.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, how
Can
are
you
you?
hear
My only concern, since you guys were just speaking about the test, this is just a suggestion.
Oh, can I just interrupt
know
you
that
for
when-
1 second? Caller, could you just give us your name and district of residency, just so we know who we're talking to?
Oh,
please?
yes, of course, that's great. My name is Kristen Morgan, and my residence is Boat Headers Lane North, East Hampton, New York, and my son is in East Hampton Middle School. And my only concern is, so when the kids went back to school, we didn't have the test yet. Being that we do have the test available now, my only suggestion would be possibly to keep the numbers down. Like when they go back on breaks, I know this is a little bit early, but like when they go back in like February, before they could come back from February break and April break, like maybe testing all staff and students before they enter buildings again.
So this is, hey, it's Adam Fine. So this is, that's a great point. We cannot mandate it, but I think one of the things we can do now that we have the test, we can create distributions before the vacations that we could give the people and ask the parents to test. So we're in that situation that we weren't in before the January break when the state kind of said it the day before and said, oh yeah, please hand these out if we didn't get them until after the kids come back. Right. So I think it's a suggestion. And we could definitely use it. We just can't mandate it.
Okay, and then I just have one other quick question. With so I know the high school is offering the live streaming if the kids are out sick. Is the middle school offering that as well?
At this point, the middle school, we opened the live stream just because of the sheer amount of kids at the high school. The middle school has such a small number of students on quarantine that they're still getting individual tutoring. And I mean, I don't think we've had any issue filling any of the tutoring with the kids at the middle school. The middle school's numbers have been the best of the three buildings. So I think we're able to meet those needs. And I think for a middle schooler especially, I think it's good to have that one-on-one intention. We want them in school, obviously, but if they are quarantined, I think it's best that if we could tutor those kids and provide that individual instruction, it's definitely better. Obviously, if there is an influx of cases, we will look at that again, and do it.
Okay, so there's tutoring available for them if they were to be out sick?
Yes, for quarantine students, yes, we are required to provide tutoring, absolutely.
For quarantine students.
Or even middle schoolers as well?
Yes, yeah, middle school, we are required to provide 10 hours, absolutely.
Okay, that's awesome to know. Thank you so much for your time this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Matt, thank you. Matt, any other callers?
That's it.
Great, thank you. So I'm going to move on, and we're going to go to the superintendent's report and recommendations. So item number 1. Recommended the board approve, number 1. Recommended the board accept the minutes from the January 4th, 2022 as written and placed on file. Have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Number 2, recommend the board approve the following resolution. Resolved that the Board of Education of the East Hampton Union Free School District, pursuant to Rule 14 of the Suffolk County Civil Service Commission, and upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, does hereby appoint Kristen Brady to the position of school nurse for a probationary period of 26 weeks, commencing January 31st, 2022, is to be paid at the annual salary of $93,423. Can I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? This is,
Welcome.
yeah, welcome. This is reinforcing our nursing staff as needed.
And a replacement for number 3.
Yes, yeah, exactly, yes. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Welcome. Thanks for being here, truthfully, because at this point in time, one of the most important positions we've got.
Right.
So number 3, recommended that the board accept the letter of resignation from Carol Brady from the appointment of the part-time school nurse effective January 28th, 2022, close of business day. Can I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
Second?
Is there any relationship?
Her mom,
Yeah.
Carol's the mom.
And Carol, thank you for your
Thank you.
service.
She's unbelievable.
She's been great
Unbelievable.
to help out. Anybody have anything else? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Number 4, recommended that the board accept the letter of resignation from Keith Rugen from the appointment of Assistant Superintendent for Business effective January 18th, 2022, close of business day. Have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second,
Second? All in favor?
I would like to thank Keith for his work and effort.
Yes. So we all, any opposed? And yes, definitely Keith, thank you. Number 5, recommended the board approve the following appointments for the 2021-22 school year. And it begins with home teaching, Nancy McGurk at $75.35 per hour. And down to the high school ENL bilingual after-school newcomer program, Nadine Kowalski. Can I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second. Any discussion? It's all things that we need to fill.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Number 6, recommended the board approve the following resolution. Resolved that the board approve the contract agreement between the East Hampton Union Free School District and Deirdre Herzog, District Treasurer, effective February 1st, 2022 through January 31st, 2023, in accordance with the terms and conditions set forth in said contract agreement. Have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Second? Dee, thanks for staying.
Yes.
Thank you.
We did.
Yes, this is
2 years.
terrific.
Extra year.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Number 7, recommended the board approve the first reading of the East Hampton Union Free School District 2022-23 school calendar. Can I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
Do we do a motion for that? You do, right? Yeah, okay. Any discussion? The tight year?
No, but we'll-
It's gonna be a tight year just because the way things in June end. June is up a week next year in 2023. Thus, we're looking to start school the day after Labor Day. I know that might not be the most popular decision, but it's the only way to get the whole year in. And to be honest with you, we have to do it. We're adding, we're keeping at least our normal Wednesday before Thanksgiving off. There are 2 Jewish holidays in there. And the breaks are only a week and a day. We have one of the breaks that falls on a Sunday, a New Year's Day. We have to get the Monday off. There's no other way to take that day and get that day. The kids need 180 school days. So
And
The good of it this year, we're ending, I mean.
They're giving John a week back.
On the 23rd of June is
Yeah.
good.
yeah, and I
It's
mean,
good.
yeah, listen, I mean, it's definitely going to be a tight year. We built in one snow day. That's all we could build in without taking another day. Or working another day. It's that tight of a year. It just happens to be. It'll open up in subsequent years. So we'll figure it out, and we anticipate the remote option being there if we have a natural disaster.
Yeah, that's something that
Well,
kind
man,
of,
let's hope that they do continue that because
Yeah.
that is so much more preferable than taking days off of breaks.
Yes,
And if you have a
April,
tight year like
yeah.
this and they didn't allow the remote, we may
Yes.
have a problem.
yeah,
Yeah.
So
we've
let's
been
hope
there
that
before.
they're- Yeah,
Yes,
let's
We've been
hope
there
they're
before, and it's not
going to
pleasant.
keep it, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, all in favor?
Does this conform with BOCES calendar too?
Yes, we use BOCES calendar as a guide. That is, the breaks are all aligned with BOCES breaks.
Yeah.
Give or take a day here, a day two.
Right.
Certain districts have, more and more of the districts are going to the Wednesday before Thanksgiving off. It's
Yeah.
become a trend actually,
Yeah.
because we've always done it. More and more districts, that's being reflected in it. Obviously we have midterm elections, so we have a professional development that day. We're not gonna have the kids in school, but it is
Right.
something very aligned with BOCES, which we have to be because we have kids who attend BOCES.
Right.
And if we move things different ways, kids could miss up to a week of school at those schools.
So with graduation will be on the earlier side this year then too. That date is set
Yeah, be the probably,
Friday evening. or
yeah,
something?
probably,
Let's hope.
I know the board discusses that, but I don't want to just take your thunder.
24th, that's Friday.
Okay. And is there a reason that they're moving it up a week like that?
I don't
The
know. They
moved it
just
by
got the
a week.
180 days.
Regents, I mean, like, what
Yeah.
is the purpose behind?
Everything just moved up. It was a tight year when we started. You know what it is? We pushed back. We started Labor Days early, I believe.
Late.
Yeah,
Late this year,
yeah,
early
it
next
was
year.
late, early next year. Yeah, so that's what kind of caused it. So
Okay.
pulled everything that way.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so that's it for the superintendent's.
No, there's
Oh,
one
one more.
more.
There we go. Number 6. Recommend the board approve the district's corrective action plan of financial statements recommended by the district external auditors for the audit ending June 30th, 2021. Have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second? And discussion?
Boilerplate.
Yeah, it was small,
Tiny
little, it
things, and you have to put a corrective action plan in.
was all small things.
Yeah.
Thank you, Isabel.
Yeah, thank you very much, Isabel, for taking care of that immediately. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That's it from that section. Go to old business COVID, which you pretty much already have taken care of. Do you have anything you want to add to that?
No.
Sure.
No more. Nope.
All right, and then, Community Housing Committee?
Yeah, so we have the committee that's gonna meet after, after policy or with policy. That's our district committee. Then, thanks to Kerry for, hounding our surrounding districts. We have a full, committee, or representatives that'll be on a broader community-based committee.
What date is that meeting?
Policy?
Is it at the, is it gonna be at February
It's
now?
like policy.
I have
I think
to
it's
double check, Jackie. but I think
Policy,
it's like
policy.
It's gonna be with policy.
Yeah.
Which meeting are you referring to? The housing policy meeting.
Policy is usually after.
think
That's your academic.
Yeah, it's the one after the next academic
We just
meeting.
had that, what,
Yeah, so I
so
think it
February.
starts in February.
And we had said we were gonna do that.
Yep.
from the
Yep,
beginning.
yep.
All right?
Okay.
And then,
10.
new business. Go ahead.
Yeah, just a brief update. We've posted, advertised, and expanded our advertisement for a director of athletics, physical education, health, and driver education. We right now are having resumes and people apply for the position. The next step, once the position closes, usually I will screen those resumes with the assistant superintendent and just to determine certification and whatnot. Then we will have a district-wide, to be fully transparent with our community, understanding the importance of the position. We will have a district-wide committee, and then we will have, as per our policy, community-based committee to follow that. And then I'm assuming the board would like to conduct a board interview. So those will be the next, steps. Because I know it's going to come up, and some people already asked for the community piece. I'm going to work with the athletic office and ultimately with our booster club on getting parent reps to put on that committee with us. Myself and Tim Fromm will chair that committee with the community members. And
so it'd be a separate one with the community members instead of putting them on the.
it'll be separate. Yep, the community members and everybody who, I've had a few people reach out already, which is fine. I just want to stress, for the community that, this is a very obviously important role sitting on an interview committee. I've had a number of parents do it through my time as principal. It's a huge responsibility, and it's obviously a very important position. So, and it is going to be, it's going to be time. I anticipate a large number of candidates. Tim and I will probably try to whittle down the ones that, are just not certified and can't have this position. Then the next step would be the district, and the district representatives with administration, teachers and whatnot. They'll get those candidates, and then we'll have a number of candidates. But we're not limiting the number of candidates we get. So it could be interviewing 10, we could be interviewing 3 at that level. The board could see. It could be the same for the board that comes up to you.
How many, does everybody have a preference? Because usually we do like final 3.
Yeah.
I'd like to at least have that,
Yeah.
I think that's ideal.
Maybe what we've done before is also maybe just take a look at the resumes.
Yeah.
So I think that we don't necessarily need to interview at that stage, but I think I'd like to see the resumes that you determine are qualified for the position.
Agreed.
Yeah. Good. Anything else on new business, Adam?
That's it.
Okay, public comment. Matt, do you have anybody on the phone for a public comment?
No, we have no callers.
Excellent.
I move.
I just want to announce the two meetings that we have coming the remaining meetings for January. So you've got January 20th, which is the Personnel Committee at 1 p.m. and the Athletic Committee on the 27th at 2 p.m. So just so that everyone knows that's there. Aside from that, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We're good. Thank you. John, you